Hello everyone and welcome to my presentation on the Chinese character 我. So the Chinese character 我 represents or has the meaning of the personal first person pronoun me or I, and the pinyin for it is 我. And first I'm going to show you how to write it, so the order of the strokes in this character. So we start over here at top left and we proceed towards bottom right as follows: 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, and 7. One more time. We go 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Now, as you might have noticed, even though there are only 7 strokes in this character, it is pretty complicated to write, and it often happens that actually this character is one of the characters that teachers choose to demonstrate the Chinese character writing rules on. So I'm just going to show you a couple of rules that apply, especially to this character. So the first rule is that we have to proceed from the top left over here and proceed through the character to the bottom right over here. And that's exactly what we did, because we went 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, and 7. The dot comes last. When there is a dot, this stroke over here, when it is in this section that I just showed you of the character, the dot usually comes last, even though it isn't, anywhere over here. It comes last. That's one of the rules that also apply to this character. Another rule that applies is that horizontal strokes, so this stroke over here for instance, come before vertical ones. So this stroke over here, and that's exactly what I did. I did 1, and then I didn't continue with this one, but I did this stroke over here, continued like so, and then continued to the next a few strokes. The next rule that applies to this character is that we first have to do the left part, and then we proceed to the right. To the right part of the character, and that's also what we did. Even though it doesn't seem like it, this character is also divided into 2 parts, into the right and left part. Let me change the color to show you. This is the right part, and this is the left part, and this over here, this is the right part of the character. They are joined over here in this little crossing, but this character is actually divided into 2 parts. And I will tell you later, these 2 parts actually have their separate meanings. So, as I said, first left and then right. So again, just to show you how I did it, I first did the left part, and then I continued to the right part. Okay, some things to look out for when you're writing this character, and there are actually a lot, so I'm just going to show you that as with other characters that are separated into the left and right part, the left part, this section over here, has to be smaller than the right part. And in this character, actually, if you really want to make it look good, it is significantly smaller. If you look at the ratio, there's a lot of space here and a lot of space here between. You can see that it's significantly smaller than the right part, and it is something that when you do it properly, the character will look nicely. Like I said in the first video, when it comes to Chinese characters that are separated into the right and left parts, they are rarely symmetrical. Second part that applies to this character, that you need to, when you would like to have this character to look as nice as possible, you need to remember that this stroke over here and this long horizontal stroke over here, they are not the same strokes, even though it looks like this. And in this font is actually a little bit more obvious that they are not the same stroke, because if you look at this one, if you just look at it, it's really a horizontal stroke. But if you look at this one over here, it is slightly tilted. The reason for that is that this stroke is actually this stroke, but shorter, written shorter. So it's called pie, and it looks something like this, and when it's like a standalone stroke. So what you need to do is, when you write this character, is you make sure that this stroke is tilting, even if it's almost like this, it's okay, as long as it's not horizontal like this one. This used to confuse me to no end, because I was doing something like maybe like this on the left side, in this part of the character. And what else? Oh, and another thing that you need to pay attention to when it comes to this character is that this stroke over here is different from this one. If you can notice that it's different, because this PA stroke starts from top right over here and finishes bottom left over here, and this stroke is the exact opposite. It starts at left bottom and finishes at top right. So when you do it like this, and this stroke, when you do it like this. And all of these are really small details, but the thing is that if you don't do them, your characters are going to look different than they're supposed to. And it used to confuse me to no end, and I was wondering why. What am I doing wrong? I mean, I'm trying to write this character, and I've been writing it for such a long time, and I still can't get it right. Well, the reason is just because what I said, because either the stroke is starting from a different direction, or you're using a different stroke to write it. And maybe the last thing that you should pay attention to is this horizontal stroke over here, which is again slightly tilted. You can see that it is tilted slightly upwards. Now, to give you a little background information about this character actually used to mean an axe or a hatchet when it was created, and it makes sense when you look at the character, because this part over here is a hand. Let me switch colors a little bit for magenta, this one over here, and this second part, let's call it an element, this one, this is like a weapon or an axe or something like that. And so the only reason why this character represents the first personal pronoun wo, and it already did so a long time ago, is that the pronunciation of this word a long time ago was very similar to the pronunciation of the first person pronoun me or I at that time. And this character wasn't used that often, so the calligraphers at that time, they chose to loan this character based on its pronunciation to make it represent the first person pronoun I or me. And it has been used since then for this purpose. So already on the Oracle Bones, very long time ago, this character already was a phonetic loan. I explained that only in case you wondered why there is how can you make such an abstract how can you take such an abstract meaning such as I or me and turn it into a character? Well, there you have it. It's actually a phonetic loan. Because it'll be probably really hard to depict the first person pronoun I or me. So as I said, this character used to represent a weapon, sort of like an axe or something similar, and based on its sound, because it was very similar to the sound of the first person pronoun at that time, the calligraphers chose to use this character to represent the first person pronoun, and it is used in that way until today. Alright, so I hope you found that interesting, and I will see you in the next video.